Welcome back for another update on my game, currently known as Astraeus. If you didn't catch the last devlogs, that name might be changing due to another game having the same name. Haven't quite decided on that yet, or what the new name would be. It's been a while since the last devlog update. I haven't had a lot of time to work on the game currently due to some house flooding issues with the winter and ice melting, but that should be all back on track and starting to work on the game. There's quite a bit to actually update on this time, so hopefully you like some of these new features. Let's jump right into it. So the first thing I wanted to point out is just kind of a more ease of life thing for the game. It took me quite a while because I'm not the greatest with math and grid math, but I made it so when you're in build mode placing an object, if you're mousing outside of the grid, your object will follow along accordingly now, whereas before it would only move if your mouse was over the grid. So that system seems to be in place and working quite well actually, and makes the game feel a lot smoother when you're building now instead of seeing things kind of jitter around. Now here I'm demonstrating an oxygen system I have in place now. So it's showing, it'll give a notification when you hit 25% oxygen that the oxygen is low, and then it'll start giving a red tint in all the rooms of the station, and the lower the oxygen gets, the darker the red goes. And now that I placed a guard in here, it'll actually start increasing the production of oxygen. So as you see it climb, now the red tint has gone away there. So previously when you sent a ranged marine to attack an enemy, which I'm going to demonstrate here, it used to just look at the distance and shoot through a wall. Now it does actually use line of sight, so you'll see he wouldn't start shooting until he gets around the corner and opens the door. So that's improved the AI for the player quite a bit there. And another feature I added now, you'll see in a second here, the visuals and the animations are a bit rough, but for any melee class, basically any class other than the Marine, I added a melee attack. So you can use stuff like the commander or the medic to go and attack an enemy if they needed, but they are very weak, they die easily, they don't do much damage. But it does have the option of setting an attack if you need it. Another system that's in place now is it does actually require power when you build rooms. So now that I'm low on power, if I go and try to build something, I'm going to get a not enough power warning unless I build a power station first. So now that I built one, you can see on the stats window the power level boosted up, and now I can build normal rooms again. Here's another quick little demo showing the Marine attacking the enemy again. So just to show the line of sight, until he gets close and the door opens, he won't actually be able to see the target. To demonstrate the oxygen system a bit better, I'm just starting a new game here. And when you start off, you have no oxygen production because you don't have a garden room yet. And your oxygen is production based. It's created based on how many gardens you have in the space station. So if you don't have one when you start out, your oxygen does keep decreasing, and you'll see the rooms getting red here. If you don't build one in enough time, your players will die when the oxygen hits 0. So I'm just going to let them hit 0 here and just demonstrate that they all die. So that's going to be one lose scenario, is if you all lose oxygen. Currently it is based on the whole station as a whole, but later I'm going to spread that out where each room gets their own oxygen production. So as long as they're connected to gardens, they'll all get oxygen, but then that way you can have kind of dead zones between. So if a room gets breached, it can lose all its oxygen, but other rooms will be fine as long as you have them blocked off. Now I just built a new little level to demonstrate. Same concept, except I'm showing now if you place a guard and when the rooms are all red, you can see the oxygen level starting to climb a bit because the production's higher than the loss, and the rooms are starting to go back to normal, the red tint's fading out. Okay, so that's where the game stands currently. Coming up for the next few weeks, what I want to try doing is working on a lot of the AI. There's a lot of bugs where if players try to walk through a door together, they'll bump into each other and get stuck. Same with enemies having trouble getting through different corridors if there's multiple enemies or players in there. So I'm going to work on improving a lot of that so I have more of a kind of a sturdy prototype where you can actually play around and play in-game a lot more. That's going to be the goal coming up. So if you like watching these, please like and subscribe below, and you'll get future updates anytime something new comes out. And if you're looking to learn Unity at all, I have a lot of tutorials on my channel as well. Thanks for watching, and if you have any suggestions or feedback, please leave it below.